Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Co-op Hockey took on Medway Girls Co-op. It was a 2-1 game heading into the second period in favor of Medway.
Certainly was. Bosworth, will she try it again? Wrister into traffic. Shot from the circle, and that's in! Jenna Fitzsimmons, the junior. Setting it over is Musgrave. Finds Abby Wayne. And now into the slot. There's a shot turned away. Secondary shot, and that's in. Julia Byrne with the assist. Now trying to race up Monahan. She's diverted. There's a wrister, and that's in! What a nice shot that was by Morgan Frazier. Sent over out in front. There's a shot turned away. A good shot there by DeRocher. Squirts out to the line. Cox sends it into the slot. It's put in! And the Hillers are right back in the game. Getting in there, Bailey. And now on a break, here comes Moriarty. Racing in. Backhander, and it's in! Into the slot. And trying to sneak it in. And did that get in? It was Kelly Bailey trying to knock it in, but she might have went over the goal line, so I think they're going to wave it off. Well, let's see here. Maybe they will give it to him. No call yet.
I think they might give it to him.
They're discussing it.
He played to center ice.
It looks like they're going to give it to him.
Give it to him.
Sent out, and the shot from Fitzsimmons is turned away. Medway trying to put some pressure on and get the momentum back in their favor.
Oh!
And there's a shot by Lauren Bosworth into the upper left corner. What a beauty.
What a wrister.
Cruz trying to dig it out. Sends it back over to Infanger. And now Fitzsimmons looking for another shot. Tries to sneak it through, and she won't, but the secondary attempt by Maggie Lester will be another score for Medway.
A crazy second period featuring 8 goals between both teams. Medway outscored Hopkinton 5-3 in the period and would end up taking the game 7-4. Hillers Indoor Track competed at a Holiday Challenge event on December 27th. Sean Golombuski finished second in the high jump and 55-meter hurdles, breaking his own school record. Kate Powers got a couple medals as well, including setting a school record and winning the weight throw event. On January 3rd, the girls got a 82-12 win over Norwood. Saneed Her, Grace Joy, Steph Johnson, Samya Karthikeyan, Kate Powers, Elise Srodawa, Ellie Driscoll, Emily Hayward, and Bridget O'Connor all had wins during the day. On Tuesday, January 4th, Hopkinton girls basketball started off their season with an overtime thriller in Ashland. The game went back and forth the whole way, but Ashland hung on for the 56-54 overtime win. Kiki Fossbender netted 32 points for the Hillers. Hiller boys basketball hosted Ashland on Tuesday, January 4th. Here's a look at the Hillers starting 5. Hopkinton took control in the first half, going on an 18-1 run heading into the halftime locker room. Mike Tarosian and Steve Spector on the call.
Cross court. Oh, beautiful. That's the way you write it up, to draw it up. Coach Keene's going to be happy with that. Everybody. And not sure how Ashland can deal with Karash Fatahi down low with it. Almost uncontested layup. And there's a tip ball. And almost a travel. Need a timeout.
It was a 34-8 Hillers lead at the half, and their success continued into the second half.
Almost a travel.
Nice fake.
Skip pass. Wide open three, and it's good.
Wow.
Caleb Raham with a beautiful three.
Hopkinton outscored Ashland 25-23 in the second half and took the game 59-31. The Hillers improved to 2 wins and 1 loss on the season. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tom Nappy. And joining us on the show today, we have Andy Barron from MyFM 101.3, Jared Keene from the Metrowest Daily News, and Steve Watson, a TVLSports.net and HCAM contributor. Guys, how are you?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Good.
Oh, I'm doing great, unlike the Patriots yesterday. Boy, was that a bad loss to Miami. Their defense was just non-existent. The offense was sloppy. They do not look ready for the playoffs. That was just awful. I know they struggle in Miami, but that was bad. That was bad. That is no way you want to go into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that game, guys? Andy, we'll start off with you.
Well, the Miami thing is real. Bill Belichick, 9-13. Tom Brady had a losing record there. This thing is real. It's been like it for 40-something years. Why is it every time we're in Miami, we forget how to play football? Can't line up on side. False starts, holding penalties. Just the weather was terrible. I mean, the rain was coming down like crazy in the second quarter. Mac Jones throws a pick six that really kind of changed everything. But the offense did get them back in the game. The defense let them down. That play they gave up at the end to Tua was absolutely disgraceful. You can't do that. You cannot do that. The Dolphins they have our number. And Brian Flores, well, he used to have our number. Now they decided to fire him today, which I am in complete disbelief. What in the world is that organization doing? They have been so irrelevant. Name one quarterback they've had that's been decent since Dan Marino retired. I can't even name one. Gus Frerotte? Might be Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
really think about it.
They won 8 of their last 9 games.
And they fired their coach.
Very impressive. It looked like they were totally going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And then, boom, they fire their coach, Brian Flores. I did not understand that firing at all.
The Dolphins.
Just unreal. And that's why the Dolphins are the Dolphins. They are a horribly ran franchise. They have no idea what they're doing. And I think they're going to go right back in the dumpster. They'll probably hire some other coach that will be not good because they've been through 7-8 coaches in the last 9-10 years. It's pretty bad. So I don't understand why they fired Flores. Maybe there was something going on behind the scenes we don't know about. But in any case, you just won 8 of your last 9 games after starting off, 1-6?
Yeah.
They won 8 of their last 9. They're right back in the playoff picture and they fire them. That's just pure stupidity. Jared, what were your thoughts about the game yesterday?
I mean, again, first things first, it's the Brian Flores thing. Just again, honestly, what is this organization doing? Andy said it best. I couldn't say it any better. Yeah, sure, you had a tough start to the season, but then to get hot and win 8 of 9 games, then fire your coach, give me a break. They're going to regret that decision. They're obviously playing good football. And yeah, I mean, just a really, really dumb move. I don't know what else to say. As far as the game, this is going to be cliche to say, but it was all about the start. You can't give up like an 11-play, 75-yard drive, let them score, then throw a pick six. You're down 14-0 in the first quarter right away. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously that sets you back mentally. I mean, as Andy said, the offense got us back in the game a little bit, but again, another poor showing from the defense, and a poor showing from Matt Judon. As good as this guy has been this year, he's been a little subpar recently. Got a bad personal foul penalty yesterday. Just hasn't been playing up to standard. And tough L and bad L, and yeah.
Steve, can you admit that the defense was awful yesterday? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I thought the whole team was awful yesterday. I thought it was the worst effort of the season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's all there is to it. But that said, it's one game, and dwelling on it's not going to help us on Saturday night. So,
well, that's what we do here. We have to analyze and break down.
Burn it, move on.
Well, that's what the team should do, but of course we got to dwell on it. That's their job here in HCAM.
That's what you got to do, Tommy. You dwell on it.
That's right.
We're right.
You dwell on it. Keep in mind, it's a short week. You're playing Saturday in Buffalo. It's going to be like 2 degrees out. So,
and I think you'll see what I think about my. Sorry.
Yeah, you just have to move on.
Well, I think you'll see what I think about the Pats when we get to our picks in a little bit.
Well, we know you think they'll be one and done. That's what you told me last night.
Yeah. They haven't really impressed me defensively all season. Their defense has been shaky against good opponents. It was very shaky yesterday. It seems like whenever they're playing against a speedy run game or speedy offense, they just can't stop them. And the defense, once again, couldn't get off the field. Same problem you had against Dallas, the same problem you had against New Orleans way back, same problem you had against Miami in week 1. A lot of these losses come down to the fact that the defense just couldn't keep up. They couldn't get off the field. The offense wasn't great. There was some bad mistakes by Mac Jones, like that pick 6, but the offense at least somewhat kept them in that game. But the defense, just terrible. And I just don't think they have a good enough defense to really do anything this year. But we do have a little bit of breaking news. The Broncos have requested permission to interview Patriots linebacker coach Gerard Mayo for their head coaching job. So Gerard Mayo could be on his way out the door, and he's definitely a guy where I look at the Pats assistants, I could picture him getting some head coaching interest. So it won't surprise me if we've seen the last of Gerard Mayo. So the Bears also fired their head coach. The Vikings, as I think we all kind of predicted, fired their head coach, Mike Zimmer. I think that was a good move. But, yeah, I am mind blown that Miami got rid of Flores. He'll be one of the first guys signed, no doubt, in the offseason.
Just real quick, how do you think Flores is going to Chicago? I can see that because he's a defensive-minded coach. The Bears are a defensive-mind organization. And you have a young quarterback in Justin Fields who has just been at a tumultuous rookie year. You got to get rid of Andy Dalton. Enough of that nonsense. And you got Nick Foles. I mean, that might be a good fit for Flores. Look, he's a good coach. I think the guy knows what he's doing. And he did a good job with the Dolphins, really. I mean, you've got to give somebody more than 3 years. You can't expect somebody to turn something around, especially a dumpster fire that the Dolphins have
Ross
been.
does. He has no patience.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
The owner of the Dolphins, Steve Ross.
Awful.
Yeah.
No patience.
Listen,
None
at all.
None.
Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells, Nick Saban couldn't even turn the Dolphins around.
No, and if Nick Saban can't, then who can?
Exactly. Now they're saying, that Stephen Ross wants Jim Harbaugh. Please. He's not going to save the franchise. Here's another thing I heard too, guys. Tell me what you think. But the reason why Flores is gone is because Deshaun Watson wanted to play for Brian Flores, and I heard the ownership wanted nothing to do with him, and he said, I'm done. That's what I heard. Deshaun Watson wanted to play for Brian Flores, but the ownership did not want him.
But Flores wanted him?
Yes.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think Flores is nuts.
He wanted.
Why would you want any part of that?
He did not want Tua. The general manager drafted him, and I think that's where the friction started. Yep. And so all that rumors going around earlier about Tua this year kind of seemed to be true, but that is the reason. What about Houston? Could he end up in Houston? That's another spot with Nick Caserio.
Well, if he does, he's not going to have a lot of fun there. That organization's a mess.
On the same topic, I actually wouldn't be surprised if Vic Fangio who was fired by the Broncos, ends up actually with the Dolphins. Another defensive-minded coach, could run the football a little bit, get creative a little bit. So I'd be surprised if Fangio went there. I don't know if they'll look at Matt Nagy. I don't know if many people want to after the season the Bears had.
No.
But I could see Fangio getting a look from the Dolphins as well.
Does anybody want that job? Honestly, I don't think anybody wants it.
The job I would want right now, if I'm a head coach, is Minnesota.
Me
Because I
too.
think you already have all the
Me too.
talent in place. You have some great talent on that team.
Justin
You have-
Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook.
And you got a defense that underperformed, but I think is really talented. They just
You play in a dome.
this year.
I don't think Flores is the guy, though, and I don't think Fangio is the guy. I don't think Matt Nagy would be the guy. They would have to find somewhere else. They got to find a more offensive guy.
Well, I don't know if I'd hire any coach if they wanted Deshaun Watson at this point, because that's just awful.
That's what I'm hearing. But I don't know. I mean,
I heard the same thing for what it's worth.
That's a whole can of worms, though. I'm not sure that an owner or a GM really wants to go down that road.
no.
It just doesn't seem worth it,
The Texans don't want him. They're done with them. And honestly, I think Davis Mills actually played pretty well.
He did.
He's not
Of all
bad.
the quarterbacks, I think he was the second best behind Mac Jones.
Yeah, I was impressed with them. So you might have something there. I mean,
Yeah, Houston had a decent game this week. They gave Tennessee a running. It was what, a 3-point
Titans
game?
were way up in that game.
Say that again.
The Titans were way up in that game and had the
Titans
whole
were smoking them.
21-0.
Yeah, and Houston came back.
Yeah.
Made it an interesting game. Boy, would that have been interesting if the Titans lost as well. It almost happened. All right, so we're going to get to the picks in just a minute. But looking at the playoff field, guys, is there any team in there that really surprises you? I can tell you the teams that surprised me. Pittsburgh, obviously, because they struggled all year. And San Francisco. I didn't think they would make it after the very rough start to the season they had.
I mean, Pittsburgh is the obvious one. I was shocked that they made it. I was absolutely shocked. This team has been extremely inconsistent and, quite frankly, really, really bad at times this year. I have nothing against Ben Roethlisberger. It's not a personal vendetta. I don't think this team was good. I don't think they're going to be. I think they're going to get hammered this week. Hammered. This team should not be in the playoffs, quite frankly. And I don't know. I was stunned.
I'm also pretty surprised Philly got in because they had a pretty bad year too. I didn't expect them to grab a wild card.
Yeah, the two shockers for me, I'd say Philly and Cincy. Honestly, I thought Philly would be one of the worst teams in the whole league. And yet somehow they made the playoffs. And Cincy, there's no reason to give them much hope either. They've been so horrible for so many years now.
Yeah, but I love the Burrow Chase combination. I think that's legit. And I think Cincy might finally
That's a good
be
comment.
legit.
Yeah, it's all starting to come together. Now it's a matter of Cincy, can they not screw things up? Because they've done plenty of that in the past.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Raiders. Considering everything they went through this year, John Gruden gets fired. We all know what Henry Ruggs did, and they get in the playoffs. You got to give them credit. I mean,
Rich Bisaccia should get the full-time job there.
absolutely,
Agreed.
absolutely. But I don't think he's going to, unfortunately, because Mark Davis wants the big name coach. Where did that get you last time?
Nowhere.
Give the man the job. He earned it.
Speaking of the Raiders,
I agree.
Obviously, obviously Andy mentioned it last week with John Madden. This guy's obviously a legend, video game commentator, everything.
Yes.
It's obviously a rough one. Legend, obviously, in the sport of football, but just figured I would toss that in. I probably could have saved that till the end, but
Absolutely. And we did give John Madden a shout out a little bit last week, courtesy of Steve, which I'm glad he brought that up. But
Steve, my bad. I thought it was Andy, my bad.
certainly was a legend and will be missed. Was one of my favorite commentators to listen to, without a doubt.
Sure.
And you wonder if that maybe gave the Raiders a little extra motivation.
Absolutely it did.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you guys saw that his wife at the game last night to light the torch.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that must have fired him up.
It's a great moment.
Wow, what a game that was on Sunday night between the Chargers and Raiders. That was one of the best football games I've ever watched. It was one of the most entertaining. It was
a phenomenal
amazing.
game.
Yep.
I was on the edge of my seat all game. That was unbelievable. And I expected a close game. I said this is going to be a 3-point game, but wow, just unreal.
Both those teams deserve to make it. After that performance, they both should have gotten in.
I agree.
Because honestly,
because the Chargers coaching, horrible coaching, they did not deserve to make, and they didn't.
But the Chargers,
Agreed.
The Chargers, I think, could have given the Chiefs a run for their money better than the Steelers could.
The Chargers have a lot of good talent, but they are very poorly coached, and that's why
absolutely.
They're going golfing next week.
And it showed last night. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was one of the worst coach games I've ever seen in any sport. Period. It was horrendous.
If Bill's a head coach, they're probably a Super Bowl. They probably win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess people love to criticize Coach Belichick out here, but then you look at that. Oh, really? We should be on our hands and knees thanking the Lord that we have Coach Belichick.
Oh, absolutely.
Some other guy.
Yeah, I mean, that was not the best coach game, but, the Pats didn't have a great game yesterday either. In fact, I would argue that their defense was probably even worse than either of those teams.
Oh, come on, man.
Come
on.
Oh, Tom.
But why don't we get into the picks? So last week, I had a nice week. I went 9-5. So did Kevin. Andy went 8-6. Jared went 7-6. Steve and Mike went 6-7. Oh, wait, no, that's before the Sunday night game. I was 9-5, Kevin 9-5, Jared, Steve 7-7, Andy 8-6, Mike 6-8. So our total wins: Jared has 177 wins, 87 losses. I'm 6 games behind at 171.93. Steve is in third place at 169.95. Andy is in fourth place at 159.105. Mike's in fifth place at 154.110. And Kevin is 129.134. Now,
he's getting close to 500. He's getting close.
That's right. So what we're doing for the playoff games, they're going to be worth 2 wins each playoff.
Oh boy!
Game. So we're up in the ante a little bit here in our HCAM Sports Talk Pick'em pool. So we'll do our picks on a weekly basis, and each game one will be 2 instead of 1. All right, so let's start it off. Saturday, 4:35 p.m., your first playoff game of the weekend. We have the 5th-seeded Las Vegas Raiders at the 4th-seeded Cincinnati Bengals. And I just don't think there's any denying that Burrow-Chase combination. I think Cincinnati got red hot at the right time. They did lose to Cleveland yesterday, but they didn't play most of their guys. They had their backups in for a good amount. They weren't really playing for much. But I think this team's red hot. I think they got hot at the right time. I'm going to go Bengals in this one for the win, but I do think the Raiders are going to keep it close because they've been actually playing some really good offense lately. But give me the Bengals in the first game on Saturday. Steve, let's start with you.
I'll go with the Raiders. Team of destiny.
All right. Andy.
I'm going with the Raiders as well. I think this Bengals drought continues. 1990 was the last time they won a playoff game. That is unbelievable. This team has been horrendous in the postseason. They have so much pressure on them, and I don't know if Joe Burrow is ready yet. I think he's a very, very talented quarterback, and the coaching could be an issue too there. I just don't know if this team's ready yet. This is a massive game for the Bengals if they're able to pull this off. But I think the Raiders, they're going to have some motivation too. I mean, the Bengals blew them out a few weeks ago, and I think the Raiders are playing better, and I think they got a little bit more experience. It's going to be a close game, but I like the Raiders.
All right, Jared.
Yeah, I'm going to the Bengals here. I think the Burrow to Chase combination, I think, is actually going to be the difference. I don't know if the Raiders can really shut down that combination to a T. Yeah, I like the Bengals here. I think Joe Mixon could have a nice game. And quite frankly, I don't really believe in Derek Carr. This guy's been way too inconsistent pretty much his whole career. I think it's going to be close. I'm not saying Bengals by 1,000 by any means, but yeah, I'm going with the Bengals here.
Yep, and I also think Derek Carr is wearing too much eyeliner as of late as well. So we are split, 2 for the Bengals, 2 for the Raiders. We'll see what Mike picks and give Kevin whatever team has less picks later on. All right, the Saturday game, 8:15, the 6th-seeded New England Patriots at the 3rd-seeded Buffalo Bills. Can the Patriots get revenge from that terrible loss in Week 15 against the Bills? We shall see. Andy, you could start this one off.
Hey, can we pick this last? Let's pick this last.
All right, boss. We'll pick it last.
No, all right. We can pick it now. We can pick it now. We can pick it now.
You want to think we can pick it last. That's fine with me. We'll pick. Who wants to pick it now? Raise your hand. Who wants to pick it last?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right.
It doesn't. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, actually, Jared's the leader. He voted to pick it last.
I'm not the leader, man. You're the leader.
All right. Let's just pick it now. Get it over with. Jared, who you going with?
Oh gosh, on the spot. I'm actually really torn on this, to be completely honest with you. Oh God.
All right, we'll get back to you.
No, I'm gonna go with the Bills. I don't know. This is a weird one because this could be like a good bounce back game for the Patriots, but I think after what I saw yesterday, and I'm not believing in sure one game bad defense, but the Bills took it to us a little bit last time. I think they could take it to us again. It's at their place. I don't know. This pains me to say, but yes, I think I'm going with the Bills here.
All right, Steve, who you going with?
I'm going with the Patriots. They went out there once, and they can do it again.
I didn't see that one coming. Andy, who you going with?
It's tough. I mean, because it's going to be a very hostile crowd, I'm sure, in Buffalo on Saturday night. I think all the pressure is on Buffalo, though. If they lose this game, it is going to look really bad because I think they are the better team, but I just have a hard time believing that the Patriots are going to get blown out here. I think they're going to keep it close, but I just don't know if they have enough to pull it out. I have to take the Bills. It's hard for me to do it, but I got to go with the Bills.
Well, it is. I want the Patriots to win. My heart does, but my brain says the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. I just don't trust the Pats defense. They just haven't played well against good teams. I think the Bills have played very well as of late. They have the home field advantage. I think the Patriots, I don't know, they might be running on some difficult times, especially after that Miami game. But if there's one thing we know, the Patriots could turn around at any time, and they're certainly capable of beating Buffalo. And I think if it's bad weather, that would help out the Pats big time. But if it's good weather, that helps out Buffalo big time, because if you have good weather, you could throw all over this Pats defense. But I'm going to go Buffalo Bills, as much as it breaks my heart. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think the Bills are going to take the victory. All right, so that means Kevin gets the Patriots.
Steve, right. I hope you're right. For what it's worth, I think we all hope you're right.
Yes.
Please.
All right, moving to the Sunday games. January 16th, 1 p.m. We start off with Philly at the 7th-seeded Philadelphia Eagles at the 2nd-seeded Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is anybody going to go Philly here?
Oh, what happened to Steve?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I think you got mad.
No, I'm going Tampa.
You got mad because I picked the Bills and left.
No, look, Tampa is going to roll in this game. This Eagles team has no shot to win this game. I would be shocked. This would be a monumental upset if the Eagles won this game. Like, they're just not. Tom Brady's going to have a field day with this team. I think they win by 2 scores.
That's what I think. I think it'll be Brady to Gronk all day. I mean,
how can they stop it? They can't stop that.
I'm even going to
Brady to Evans all day. Brady to Evans. Brady to Evans.
Yep. I'll give Kevin Tampa because I just feel too bad giving him Philly. But this should be a cakewalk for the Bucks. Philly, I mean, they can put up points when they want to, but I don't even think they're in the same stratosphere as this Bucks team.
No.
And Steve, I'd imagine you're going Bucks, correct?
Bucks by a lot.
All right.
All right.
All right, the 4:20 p.m. game on Sunday. We have the 6th-seeded San Francisco 49ers and the 3rd-seeded Dallas Cowboys. Boy, am I torn on this one. Steve, you can start off. Who are you going with in this one?
I think this is going to be a great game, by the way. I think it'll come down to who makes the big mistake, and I think Jimmy G will be the one who makes the big mistake. So I'm going to go with Dallas.
All right. I do believe this is going to be probably the best game of the weekend, actually.
And CBS, by the way, must be thrilled that they got this game. That's going to be ratings gold.
It's an old school rivalry. I mean, when was the last time Dallas and San Francisco played in the playoffs? Been a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, this will be
back to the early 90s. I'm guessing back to the early 90s.
Probably, I would think, right?
Yeah, this is a great rivalry. I mean,
this is like, 1990s NFC Championship. This
could be game of the weekend. This could be in the mix for game of the weekend.
All right, Andy, who you going with?
I'm going with the 49ers. I don't believe in Dallas. I just don't. I mean, this is another team. All the pressure is on them. I haven't believed a lot in the 49ers this year. I know I've said it on the show plenty of times, but I started to believe in them a little bit after last week. They got the Rams number. That Niners team seems to be getting healthy. I just do not believe in Dallas. I think this is going to be a great game, though. It's a field goal type of game, and I like the Niners.
I don't believe much in Dallas either. I'm shocked they even made the playoffs because they always choke. But then again, I'm not shocked because they do have a lot of talent, and they should have made the playoffs. There should be no excuse at this point. Jared, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas here. Dak Prescott is actually playing at a pretty high level right now. I'm pretty sure he threw 4 TDs this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken. They got the running game going a little bit too. Again, I think this is gonna be close. This could come right down to the wire. Give me Dallas.
I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy G is back. They beat the Rams in a big matchup. Jimmy G is going to take them right through to the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a very close game, though. But I think San Francisco pulls this off, and Dallas goes back to choking. And I don't have much faith in the Cowboys to really do much in the playoffs. I think now that they're here, they'll just get knocked out early on. So I think the 49ers are going to take this one, but I do think it'll be a close game. It could be one of those crazy shootout kind of games. All right, so we got 2 for San Fran, 2 for Dallas. We'll give Kevin his pick after Mike picks. All right, Sunday, January 16th, 8:15, Sunday Night Football. 7th-seeded Pittsburgh Steelers, 2nd-seeded Kansas City Chiefs. We'll go around the table, even though I have a feeling I know what we're all going to pick. We'll go around the table anyway. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm shocked the Steelers are even here, but I'll tell you what. I do think the Steelers are going to keep this close. This is Ben Roethlisberger's last season, so I really think they're going to play their butts off for their quarterback, Big Ben. I do think they'll keep this close. Kansas City has struggled at times, especially defensively, against good offenses. I'm looking for a high-scoring game here as long as the weather cooperates. But I think the Chiefs will ultimately pull it out in the end, although I really would love to see the upset. I think that would be epic. But I do think the Chiefs are going to win. Andy, who you going with?
I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are going to win big. This Steelers team can't score. Their offense is terrible. I mean, they barely could beat the Ravens. Roethlisberger's like, he barely can even move. I would be in disbelief if the Steelers even keep this within a touchdown. I mean, the Chiefs offense, when they've not been playing well, I thought they should have lost to Denver, to be honest with you, but, they just have too much firepower. I would be absolutely shocked if the Steelers keep this close, really.
Yeah, if there's one quarterback that you could sack probably easiest in the league at this point, it's probably Big Ben. He just gets hit so much because he can barely move. Steve, who you going with?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be very close. I could see a lower scoring, grinded out type of weird game because that's the type of games that Pittsburgh's been winning all year. That's why they're in it. They have a lot of weird wins. So I wouldn't be totally shocked if they given that it's in KC, the Chiefs did play well down the stretch. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right. I haven't checked the weather on this game yet, but I just have a weird feeling there'll be some weather on this one. Jared, who you going with?
I'm going with the Chiefs, and I'm with Andy. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. maybe 41-20, something like that, something wild like that. The Steelers stink. They stink. They can't score. They're going to give up mounds of points and yards to Mahomes. And yeah, I don't know. Give me the Chiefs all day here, all day. I'm even thinking about taking KC minus 12.5.
There you go. Maybe tease that down a little bit. All right, Kevin's
Sunny
gonna.
44, by the way, is the weather.
What is it?
Sunny on Sunday during the day and in the 40s. So probably in the 30s or 20s come game time.
Yeah.
Kansas City's weird. Like
Still
they
early.
can get some really nasty weather out there. You never really
They
know.
can. Yeah.
It's very unpredictable.
It's still early in the week, so things could change.
But honestly, if the Chiefs lost this game, this would be a disaster. They would really have to start questioning.
This would be the biggest upset of the weekend. I think this would be the biggest upset of the weekend.
No doubt about it.
Well, unless the Eagles beat the Bucks, but
I think the
Steelers beating the Chiefs, I think is more of an upset.
The Eagles have not beat a team with a winning record. I don't believe they have.
No, they have.
no, I would say Eagles over the Bucks would be the biggest upset. That would be just mind blowing. Like Pittsburgh, I mean, they have playoff experience at least. You have a quarterback that's accomplished things in his career, and they've gone far before. So yeah, it's a big upset, but it would not be as much of an upset as Tom Brady losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry.
I guess I just think I guess my thought is that the Eagles I think are a better team than the Steelers, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's debatable.
I'd say Steelers are better. All right, we have a Monday night game in the wild card weekend. How do you guys feel about the Monday night game? I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it.
Don't like it. It's not fair. I mean, what if you win and then it's like you have a short week? You're already at a disadvantage. I don't agree with this. It should have just been a triple header on both days. I think it makes more sense. I just don't think it's fair to either team.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to have the winner of the Monday game play next Saturday? Because that is very unfair.
That'd be rough.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see how it works out. But if they're going to have the winner of this game play next Saturday, I mean, you're losing 2 days of preparation? That's pretty bad. But anyways, they're doing it. It's the 5th seeded Arizona Cardinals at the 4th seeded Rams. And I'll tell you what, the Cardinals just look totally flat. I don't trust them at all. Their defense is a mess. Their offense, it was somewhat okay yesterday, but they've been a mess in recent games. I think the Rams are going to pounce on the Cardinals in this one. I'm taking the Rams for the win. Jared, who are you taking?
I got burned last time they played by this, but I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yes.
The Rams did not actually look good for quite a while yesterday, and had to make a comeback to win. But I don't know. I like the Cardinals here. I think this could also be in the mix for game of the weekend. And yeah, give me Arizona here. I've been taking Arizona all season. I can't go against it now in the playoffs.
Yeah, that is true. I'm hoping it burns you though. Be a nice.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, LA's a good team.
Absolutely. I think it's a division game. I think it'll be close, but the Cardinals, they've just looked bad recently. I don't see it this year for them. Steve, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. The Rams have been very careless with the football lately. Matthew Stafford has won 0 playoff games in his 13 years starting in this league. And honestly, I don't like the way that either one of these teams has played over the past month plus. But the Rams have a lot of turnovers lately, and I just see that carrying through into this game, you know. And I think whoever wins this game is going to get bounced in the next round anyway. So
Probably. Yeah, I don't see Stafford going very far in the playoffs. I don't have a lot of faith.
A lot of people like to praise him, but they forget he hasn't even won a playoff game.
No, and he's had the Rams had some really bad games during the season as well.
They did, yeah. And I think the last maybe 3 weeks he had at least 7 or 8 picks.
At least
That's not going to do it.
Yeah, no, it certainly won't. He is very careless with the football at times. But
even yesterday on the final play, the pick that he threw, just absolutely careless. He just chucked it up there. Like there's no vision, there's no purpose behind the throw. And he did that in the 3 weeks before that, too. They're lucky to beat the Ravens. I don't know. They need a last-second comeback against them. And the Ravens lost, 6 straight to end the season? Not that impressive.
They lost quite a bit. I wonder if their Harbaugh is going to be in trouble. Jim or John?
I don't think he will be, just because there's so many guys get hurt before the season even started. And they won a lot of close games early that they probably shouldn't have. So he figured it wouldn't last. So if there's another coach, maybe he would get fired, but I don't think John Harbaugh will.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
But hey, they have another couple bad years. He might. But I do like. Was it Huntley? The backup?
Yeah, he did good.
He's
looking nice with them.
All right, Andy, who you going with?
It's a tough one to pick because which team is going to show up? These two teams have been very inconsistent. And the coaching too. I don't think Sean McVay or Cliff Kingsbury have done very good, to be honest with you. Make a lot of really, really head-scratching decisions. But I am going to take the Rams only because I just think they got a little bit more talent on offense and defense. And I'm just banking on Kyler Murray's going to make another costly mistake. I know Matt Stafford has done the same thing. Honestly, this game could go either way, really. I mean, this is one that I'm definitely not 100% sure on, but I am going to take the Rams because they're at home.
I'm very excited to watch this game. This is going to be a good one.
I'm excited to watch all the games.
Even the Philadelphia-Tampa game?
I'm not watching the Steelers-Chiefs game. Screw that, man. That's going to stink.
I'm going to watch it. Could be Big Ben's last game. It's always worth a watch. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting playoff weekend for sure. But I like how we're split up on a lot of these games. Besides Tampa and Kansas, we didn't all pick the same. So some big stakes in our standings up for grabs here. All right, so looking at the playoff field, let's do this. We'll throw you guys in the fire. What's your Super Bowl prediction as we're heading into the playoffs? Pick what you think the matchup will be and the winner. I know at one point when the Pats were playing really good, I said Bucks Pats. I no longer think that. I think it's probably going to be I want to say Bucks Chiefs, but I really don't want the Chiefs to make it. But I think it's probably going to be Bucks Chiefs once again, and I think Bucks will roll over the Chiefs. Green Bay, I mean, they had a great regular season. What was it? The third year in a row they won 13 games, but they just can't ever seem to get far in the playoffs. And I think Tom Brady has Aaron Rodgers' number. So I'll stick with my initial prediction of the Bucks Chiefs. Andy, do you have a Super Bowl prediction?
It's tough because, you just never really know. But what I do know is I look at the quarterbacks, and Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes have done it. They've gotten their teams to the Super Bowls, and they've both won it. I know Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl, but it's been 10 years. I will never, ever pick Aaron Rodgers to win over Tom Brady in the big game. Never. I'm going to have to go with you. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be the Bucks and the Chiefs again, because I just don't know about these other teams, if they can get it done. I mean, Tennessee's kind of a week 1 seed, to be honest with you. I mean, if they're healthy, they can be really good, but I just think at the end of the day, the quarterbacks are going to win out.
All right. I like it. And who do you think would win if it's Bucks Chiefs?
Tampa. I'm not after what Tampa did to the Chiefs last year. I mean, they have Mahomes running for his life the entire game. No, I'd pick the Bucks.
And actually, you know what? I'll tell you this. The AFC team I'm looking out for is Cincinnati. I'm really starting to build faith in this team. I think that Burrow to Chase combination is just unbelievable, and I think their defense has played well. And I know the Bengals have had a rough past, but I really trust Joe Burrows. I think this is their guy. And I think they're in for a very bright future with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrows. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if it ends up being, well, maybe a little, but it wouldn't surprise me too much if it ends up being like Tampa and Cincinnati as well. Cincinnati is probably the best built team in the AFC to take out Kansas City. And we saw during the regular season where they had that tremendous game against each other. The Bengals able to edge them. I just don't think the Chiefs could stop Chase at all. So if it ends up being Bengals and Chiefs somewhere in the playoffs, that is going to be a matchup to look out for. That's really a matchup.
Who do you think would win between the Bengals and the Bills?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Again, I don't think anyone covered Chase. They've had a lot of issues, but
Yeah.
I think the Bills are much better built defensively to take down the Bengals and the Chiefs. But if I had to pick, I don't know. I'd probably still pick Cincinnati.
This is a massive game for the Bengals. They really, if they do beat the Raiders, then I might start taking a second look because again, they got to win a postseason game. I mean, that's real. I mean, they have to win this game.
Yes, they certainly do. Jared, what's your Super Bowl prediction?
I'm torn on this, man. I kind of want to pick the Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, regardless of what you think of him, has played lights out this year. The guy has been phenomenal.
He has been.
I might even go as far to say that he probably maybe deserves the MVP this year over Brady, which is probably asinine to say, but the guy's played out of his mind this year, and he deserves a lot of credit. For it, I'm going to go Bucks and Bills. I don't know.
Bucks and
again,
Bills.
no team in the AFC like really jumps out at me. I'm not going to pick the Pats. I already picked the Bills over the Pats.
Tom
I'm not going to pick the Bengals.
Tom Brady's going to break Buffalo's heart again.
All right. Okay. I like it.
And you know what? So I'm not repetitive. I'm gonna let Andy have Tampa and Kansas City, and I'm gonna go Tampa and Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm going Tampa and Buffalo.
All right, Steve, who are you going with? What's your Super Bowl prediction?
Packers and Titans.
Packers and
okay.
the Titans. All right.
That'd be an intriguing one.
Titans,
You know what? I forgot about the Titans. They could definitely
They're
compete.
number one seed. They destroyed Kansas City. They beat Buffalo. Whoever plays them is going to have to go down to Nashville.
Ooh, and by the way, Derrick Henry's coming back.
And Derrick Henry's going to be back and well rested and healthy. So
Yeah.
With Tennessee, as long as they take care of the football, they are very, very tough to beat.
That is a good one.
I just don't fully
That's-
believe in Ryan
if they
Tannehill.
play the
They got
Packers
this, I like their
in the Super Bowl,
weapons.
the
I
Packers
love
will
their
win the Super
weapons.
What was that, Steve?
I think the Packers would win the Super Bowl.
All right, here we
Titans.
go.
It seems like Aaron Rodgers is on a mission this year.
Yep.
Yes.
He's played lights out this year. The guy's been phenomenal.
Yeah, and I do think Tampa can make the NFC Championship game, but I just can't see them going up there again and winning at Lambeau again this year. I can't
Without
see
without Chris Godwin as well, which is obviously a big loss.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be tough. They did lose a lot of guys, but they still have Gronk. And they still have Antonio Brown. No, wait. Just kidding.
Actually, Tom, give me the Packers and the Bills. I don't want to copy Steve here, but I think the Chris Godwin thing I think could eventually end up catching up to the Bucks.
It definitely could. They have
Give me-
Mike
give me
Evans back.
Give me Green Bay and Buffalo. There you go.
All right. I
Final
like it.
answer.
Green Bay and Buffalo. And you think Green Bay is going to win?
If it came down to that, yeah.
All right. 2 for Green Bay, 2 for Tampa. Should be interesting. All right, we'll see who's closest. We'll throw in a stand.
Watch it be like the Steelers and the Eagles, guys. If it's the Steelers and the Eagles, we're all going to the bar, and I'll buy you guys
insufferable.
beers are on me that night. Jesus,
I could not deal with that. I mean,
Who's you even root for?
Oh, and all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. Oh,
I probably root for the Steelers because you can't root for Philly, can you?
I got to root for the Eagles there. I can't root for the Steelers.
I will say I would like to see Garoppolo and Brady go at it in the playoffs. I think that would be interesting.
it could happen.
Niners, Patriots, okay.
See
I'd really love to see Brady against Mac Jones in the Super Bowl, though.
Oh, we all would.
That could very well happen. Brady and Garoppolo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Garoppolo wins, but I mean, I just I don't know. I mean, listen, Tom Brady is like, I was just thinking about this. Like, he should be lucky that he's playing the Eagles, because he could have been playing the Saints. They have his number. I mean, because I think the Saints would have actually given the Bucs a good game.
Oh, I agree. And San Fran was down by 17 points and came back and won against the Rams. So they looked dead in the water at halftime.
I know. It's impressive, Steve. I think
It is. It's very impressive to do that in Los Angeles on the road, come back and win and clinch a playoff spot in OT. Thumbs up.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We keep saying how the Dolphins have the Patriots number, the Niners have the Rams number.
Oh, even more so than the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Niners own the Rams.
Yeah, if I'm a Rams fan, I don't want to play the Niners again.
No.
And did you see all the Niners fans there yesterday?
Oh,
They invaded the place.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. They're a great organization. They're a great fan base. They love their
Great fan
team.
base.
I mean,
They travel well.
they do. They really, really do. I agree.
I love George Kittle. That guy is awesome. What a player, man. That guy's amazing.
Changes their whole offense. Him and Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel.
Debo's
Yeah.
whole offense.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the best receiver in the league is. I'm so torn. There's Cooper Kupp. I think Debo Samuel is so underrated. I think he's definitely up there, probably in the top 5.
I'm pretty sure he threw a touchdown pass yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then I think Chase is definitely in the top 5 at this point with what he's done.
Best receiver in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, not yet. Not yet. The guy's awesome, but I would say he's top 5 in the league, man. Give me like DeAndre Hopkins. Give me Devontae Adams.
Well, he's definitely top 10, maybe number 6. He's in the top
He's
10.
pretty good. I mean, Justin Jefferson for the Vikings is very, very good.
Yes. A.J. Brown for the Titans. I mean, I don't think Julio is top 5 anymore. Obviously, I love Julio, but I don't think he's top 5 anymore. Yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson, that guy is phenomenal, man. What a player.
If only the Pats had Julio.
CeeDee Lamb is going to be in the mix as well for that eventually. Again, maybe not quite yet, but that guy's good, man. That guy can play.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, it's probably Kupp. I think he had the best year statistically, really.
Just really, really quick, too. I cannot believe the Colts didn't make the playoffs. That is
Oh, my
unreal.
God. Yes.
Shocking.
We didn't talk
Shocking.
about that.
Seriously, though.
Embarrassing.
How in the world can you go into a place like Jacksonville, a team that had absolutely nothing to play for? They own the Colts in Jacksonville.
Remember last week on this show, I said that the Colts hadn't won down there in 6 years?
You're
7
right.
years?
You were right.
You did. Well
They
done.
dominated.
Steve, if you
Well
picked
done.
Jacksonville, I would have been really impressed.
I did not pick Jacksonville because I was at the Pats Jags game last week. And there's no way I can pick Jacksonville. I can't do it. But they didn't just beat the Colts. They dominated them.
Dominated from start to
Hey,
finish.
man.
Absolute
them.
domination.
Where was that Jacksonville team all season?
Seriously.
They were saving off week 17.
Listen, can you believe they have Carson Wentz for 5 more years? If I'm a
I know.
Colts fan, what
He is terrible. He is
are
god
you
awful.
thinking? You should have just kept Brissett. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, this guy cannot get it done. I've said it time and time again. He cannot get it done.
I mean,
I'm sure if you're the Eagles, you're probably pretty happy right now. You made the playoffs with Jalen Hurts after getting
Yeah.
rid of Carson Wentz.
Yeah. And you won a
Right.
Super Bowl with Nick Foles. I mean,
Yeah.
that should say a lot, too. And Hurts isn't that great.
no, he's not. That was an embarrassment. You know what? I laughed so hard. I cannot stand the Colts.
Same here.
They
Losing
were flapping their gums all week after they beat the Patriots. I'm like,
You would have thought they just won the Super Bowl.
exactly. You didn't win anything. You can't even beat Jacksonville. It's like, that is what a payback that was.
That set up
Unreal.
the ultimate dream scenario for the NFL this past Sunday.
Yep.
When Indy lost that game, because that
was
put
the start. That
that
was the
put
start.
Pittsburgh in the running, that put Chargers in the running, Vegas in the running. That even put Miami, I think, in the running for a little bit, right?
The Raiders had to ruin it. The Raiders ruined it.
Yep.
The Raiders ruined it.
That opened up so many opportunities. And the league wants Pittsburgh to get in. They're one of the most watched teams in the country.
Of all those ratings.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say, I think Mike Tomlin's a pretty good coach. Like, this guy, listen, he got rid of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I know it was a while ago, but he basically just said, just get out of here. I'm done with you.
And how do you tolerate Antonio Brown for that long?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I couldn't do it. No way.
He's a good coach.
I wouldn't have the patience.
He's a player's coach. I think the players love playing for him. I mean, I think his press conferences are hysterical. The guy tells it like it is. He's a good coach. Honestly, like if we ever brought him in here, I'd be okay with it.
No, I think
I'm not going to go that far.
I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's a great coach.
No. I don't think he's great, but he's good.
I think he's underachieved with the talented rosters he's
got
had.
a lot of talent.
He should have won more. I think if you gave a Belichick that roster, I mean, how many Super Bowls would he have won with that roster? I mean, you could debate this stuff all day, but I think Tomlin's good. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's
kind
great.
of middle of the pack, but he's certainly better than a lot of other coaches in the league. I mean,
he's one of the longest tenured head coaches, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're just about out of time, so let's go around the table. Any final thoughts? Steve, we'll start with you.
After the Pats playing Saturday night, last week's a distant memory. All teams are 0-0. So forget about it. Move on. Do what you do. They've won there already. They can do it again. And for all the haters, you know what? If you're not going to root for the Pats, then don't watch the game. Go Pats.
All right. Andy, any final thoughts?
Well, again, just unfortunately, COVID is still a very fluid situation. You hope that we're going to be getting through the worst of it soon, but fortunately, just seeing a couple more schools postponing, athletics, and there's really a lot of there's just a lot of people that are really upset, and especially in the college level, you've seen a lot of schools in the Worcester area are banning spectators, and you're just like, why is this school allowed to have people and this school's not allowed to have people and the pros are allowed to? The thing is just a mess. I mean, you hope that the worst of it's going to pass, but we unfortunately got a rough couple of weeks coming up.
Yep, should be a pretty rough winter, but hopefully it won't affect the NFL playoffs too much. I really hope, and this is my final thought, I really hope the NFL playoffs aren't affected too much by this. I want to see pretty much full strength teams. There's going to be, some players getting infected, unfortunately, but hopefully it's nothing big. Hopefully it doesn't keep Tom Brady out or, a huge name out of the playoffs, because that would just be a shame to have a team lose because they have a COVID outbreak and lose a bunch of their superstars. So hopefully that won't happen. Jared, any final thoughts?
That's a good one, Tom. Actually, I like that one. I guess I hope Steve's right. For fans' sake, I hope Steve is right. Pat's got to show up this weekend, but excited for a good weekend of football, hopefully. And I know it's a little bit of ways away still, but I'm just excited for some good football and go Bruins. Bruins were down 2-0 tonight to the Capitals, tied it up 2-2 end of the first period. So, I love hockey. Go Bees, go Pats, go everybody. But the Celtics still kind of stink. So, there you go.
One more quick thing. Does the baseball season start on time?
No.
And who cares anyway?
Is there a season at all?
No.
Probably not.
They haven't even worked out anything. They're
not even talking.
Yeah.
The two sides are miles apart.
Oh, it's unreal.
And they absolutely hate each other. So
they do. Yeah. And please, if they decide to go with another 60-game season, no one's going to watch.
Yeah, no. And Rob Manfred is a clown. You can print that. He's a clown.
Awful.
All right, we'll talk more baseball next show. We're out of time. For Jared, Andy, and Steve, thanks for joining us. This has been HCAM Sports Talk. Go Pats. Take care, everybody.